Last year, the X Factor ended on a high. Tonight, we go back to where it all started as the stars of the X Factor 2009 relive the experience and reveal what they were thinking every step of the way. This is the Xtra Factor. Rewind. Last year, the X Factor scoured the country in search of a superstar. The judges were back. But there was a big change, as for the first time, everyone who auditioned would have to perform in front of an audience of thousands.
When you're doing auditions in front of a live audience, you got like 2,000 people, anything can happen.
The whole live audition was a really, really good way of showing who'd be able for the live show.
But there was one act that split the judges from the very start. Yep, it's John and Jedward.
When we first auditioned, okay, we were like really excited about the whole thing because we remember watching it on TV. We'd never done any performance or anything before.
Who have we got here?
We're twins. I'm Edward. I'm John, and we're 17, and we're from Dublin.
It's a yes from Louis.
And I always felt like we had this connection with Louis because he was like from Ireland, and we're from Ireland. And he always like supported me there from day one. And it's kind of cool now because he's our manager.
Come on, everyone. If you know the words, sing along. All alone, this has always been a friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands.
The whole audience, like all our fans and everybody looking for my home, were kind of more glued into me now because we were only new to performing. That was like our first time singing on a microphone properly.
Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long.
Simon, what do you think?
Not very good and incredibly annoying. Two of the most, particularly you, irritating people we've had out here in a long, long time.
Think about it, everyone else was like, oh my God, it's an amazing performance, amazing vocal. And then basically it was like, everyone was like waiting to see what like Simon Cowell wanted to say to John and Edward. So basically that made us like that person on a different level.
Absolutely the cockiest couple of singers I've ever come across that don't have a record deal yet.
OK, this is very, very easy for me, guys. I'm going to say no. Danny?
For me, it's a yes.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheryl, yes or no?
Go on, I'll give you a chance. I'll say yes.
Thank you so much.
No, yes, yes. Where are you from?
Dublin.
OK, Louis, drum roll.
I'm saying yes.
I mean, John and Edward, the thing about when they walked in, they were just two young kids who wanted to be pop stars, but I saw the potential in them. And I was right. They've had a great, great career. Simon Cowell didn't get it at all, but that's good.
The thing about Louis Walsh is that he actually like really got us. Like he saw like what we've become. Like he's like everything. Like now we like to see him all the time. And no, like how cool it was. He's like, get through to the next round. And we're like, okay.
Welcome back to the Xtra Factor Rewind. For the acts that had made it through the auditions, things were about to get really tough. The next stage was boot camp.
Guys, girls, welcome to Boot Camp 2009.
Throughout the week-long boot camp, the judges had to take the 200 acts that got through the auditions down to just 24 to take to judges' houses. So the pressure was on.
It was such a cool feeling because we knew we were going to like go to London and we knew we were going to get to spend like a week on our own. It was like our first time ever. And I remember our mom and dad were like really excited.
With the performances over and the decisions made, it was time for the judges to reveal which acts were one step closer to making their dreams come true.
Let's go and tell them.
Okay. That's it.
So just 6 acts remained in each of the 4 categories, and now they were in with a very real chance of changing their lives forever as they travelled around the world to meet their mentors. The groups were with Louis and Ronan Keating in Italy.
It was like full on like the rock star party like thing of like they showed the whole celebrity like it was like a totally different world like we'd never been in.
So, with all the performances over around the globe, it was time for the judges to break the news. And Ollie wasn't the only one whose dreams were one step closer to becoming a reality.
You're through to live shows.
After the break, the final 12 sing live for the nation. Welcome back to the Xtra Factor Rewind. From the 200,000 who auditioned, just 12 acts remained, and it was time for the live finals.
It was going to be live, and the thing about me and John is that we love like being live because you can do whatever you want to do.
But there was one act that held on against all the odds, John and Edward. The twins from Dublin divided opinion and got the whole nation talking.
You get into the final 12 in the X Factor, you're like shot of fame, like it's crazy that like paparazzi like taking pictures of you, crazy like
The thing about John and Edward is they were so entertaining and nobody knew what they were going to do week after week. It was a big production, but you didn't forget it.
Edward, before you go, I want to give you something. Oh, it's
beautiful, but wait a minute.
Isn't this? Yeah, yes it is.
I thought the old lady dropped into the ocean in the end.
Well, Edward, I went down and got it for you.
Ah, you shouldn't have. Oops, I
Did it again to your heart. Got lost in this game, oh baby.
Initial reaction was, what the bloody hell was that?
I thought Simon Cowell's really cool because he, every time we see him, he always, there's no like bad feelings or anything. We always like say hey to him, and he always says hey to us, and he always has his I Love Jedward t-shirt underneath his shirts. Like, take it off. He's a big fan.
We gonna call Ghostbusters.
But then, in week 5, the twins found themselves in the bottom 2 against Lucy Jones.
And like, I felt like me and John every single week were like, oh, we're going home. We could go home this week. So we were like always getting ourselves mentally ready for the bottom 2.
When I was in the bottom 2 against Jedward, I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I wasn't convinced one way or the other. They just split the country. And because of that, the people that like them love them.
After singing for survival, it went to deadlock. And controversially, the twins won through on the public vote.
Lucy.
But the next week, the boys bounced back when they put in one of their best performances of the series.
The thing about John and Edward, everybody, they either liked them or didn't like them. But they surprised everybody every week because they did Ghostbusters, they did Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. They surprised everybody. They even surprised me some weeks. They actually got it right.
And okay, it's really, really funny looking back on it because now like we're like best friends with like Vanilla Ice and he wants to like go to America. Like we're best friends with Vanilla Ice, we like talk to him on the phone. Who'd ever think we'd be friends with Vanilla Ice Cake?
I can't judge you in the real world anymore. I have to judge you in Jedward land, wherever that planet exists. Kind of take myself there. I would say that was your best performance.
However, their luck ran out in week 7.
Yeah, because I feel like with everything, no matter what it is, like the X Factor, only one person's going to win, and it's like a wave. It could always end, and once you get used to that, you'd be fine with it if you got photographed.
On the premise that it's a singing competition, I will have to send home John and Edward.
I was up against the Jedward guys and they just were brilliant throughout the show, you know. They had a lot of bad press and a lot of the crowd would boo them each week. And I said, look guys, you know what, whatever happens, happens, you know, and good luck guys, you know. They're like, whatever, Ali, just go for it, man, just do it.
And his performance proved enough for him to impress the judges and send him through, with Jedward heading home. As the votes came in, all the finalists returned to the stage to sing with the music legend, Paul McCartney.
Meeting Paul McCartney and getting to sing with him on stage, I mean, he is a legend. Oh my God, that's all I could say when I walked on stage with Paul McCartney. That was I don't know how I managed to do it and how I managed to stand next to him on stage.
With Paul McCartney and all the X Factor contestants, it just goes to show you how big the X Factor is. The future is really, really rosy for John Edward. They're working all the time. They're gigging, they're touring, they're even modelling in Japan.
You don't hate us, you hate you're not us.
And for the winner of the X Factor, Joe, with his debut album on the way, things have never looked better.
When I applied, I never ever thought in a million years I would win, and now I'm here. It's everything and more that I've ever dreamed of, and I'm having the best time of my life.
So that was then, but this is now.